You're watching TAG TV.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surbhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 1st of November. Two terrorists killed in encounter in India's Jammu and Kashmir. India hosts South Asian Regional Connectivity Conference in New Delhi. And Sri Lankan President lifts suspension of Parliament. And now for all the details. Security forces gunned down two terrorists in an encounter in Budgam district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Thursday. An army personnel was also injured in the encounter that broke out after the security forces launched a search operation following a tip-off about their presence in a village.
Two terrorists were killed and a security personnel was injured in an encounter in Budgam district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Thursday. The encounter started after the security forces launched a search operation in a village of the district following specific inputs about the presence of terrorists. It came 2 days after two terrorists belonging to Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed terror group were killed by security forces in Tral region of the province. Two AK-47 rifles and one pistol were also recovered by the security forces from the encounter site in Budgam.
We received an input in the area of Zugu Khariam village in the outskirts that there were presence of two terrorists. We have been tracking this group for some time. They probably were here to create some unrest for the Panchayat elections. On receiving the input from the Budgam police, we immediately launched with a small group, and in a short and fast operation we eliminated two terrorists.
India has long accused Pakistan of arming and infiltrating terrorists across the border to spread unrest in the Kashmir Valley. Pakistan denies the charge.
While addressing the South Asian Regional Connectivity Conference in New Delhi, India's Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale on Thursday said that India believes in free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. The two-day conference aims to create a multi-country platform for policy discussion among the South Asian countries and key actors in the Indo-Pacific.
India's Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale on Thursday said that India believes in free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. The Foreign Secretary made the remarks while inaugurating the two-day South Asian Regional Connectivity Conference in Indian capital New Delhi. Expressing concern over blighted connectivity to the western side of India, he said that the country is developing Chabahar port in Iran to improve connectivity to the west.
We view the Indo-Pacific as a positive construct of development and connectivity in which we can play a unique role by virtue of our geographical location and economic gravity. And as Prime Minister outlined in his speech at this year's Shangri-La Dialogue, we believe in a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region which includes all nations in this geography and others who have a stake in it.
The two-day conference aims to create a multi-country platform for policy discussions by connecting policymakers, trade and investment promotion bodies from South Asian countries and key actors in the Indo-Pacific. Key speakers from the region will deliberate on critical regional connectivity issues including digital economy, infrastructure and energy sectors during the conference.
In news from Pakistan, roads were blocked in major cities across Pakistan on Thursday as religious parties continued to protest for the second day following a Supreme Court verdict acquitting Asia Bibi, a Christian woman sentenced to death over blasphemy allegations. The protest came despite a warning issued by Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan.
Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan on Wednesday warned action against protests and death threats from ultra-Islamist party following Supreme Court's ruling to free a Christian woman from a death sentence for blasphemy against Islam. Asia Bibi, a mother of 4 in 2010, became the first woman to be sentenced to death under Pakistan's draconian blasphemy laws, a claim she denies. She allegedly made derogatory remarks about Islam after neighbors objected to her drinking water from their glass because she was not Muslim.
मैं इन अनासर को अपील करता हूं कि रियासत से ना टकराना। मैं आपको ये अपील करता हूं कि इस मुल्क की खातिर जो कि मुश्किल बुरात से निकल रहा है और अल्लाह का शुक्र है आगे अच्छा वक्त आ रहा है, आप अपनी सियासत चमकाने के लिए, अपने वोट बैंक के लिए इस मुल्क को नुकसान ना पहुंचाएं।
Supporters of ultra-religious Tehreek-e-Labbaik party immediately condemned Wednesday's ruling and blocked roads in major cities. Street protests and blockades of major roads were spreading, paralyzing parts of Islamabad, Lahore and other cities, report suggests. Christians make up only about 2% of the country's population and are often discriminated against. All of Pakistan's minorities feel that the state fails to protect them and even tolerates violence against them.
In news from Afghanistan, Attorney General's office in Afghanistan has received over 130 election-related crime cases across the country. Officials from the authority said many of the suspected electoral-related crimes include the forgery of ID cards and stickers. Afghanistan's Attorney General's Office, or AGO, has said that since the start of the parliamentary election process in the country, over 130 cases related to electoral crimes have been handed over to them. AGO officials said many of the suspected electoral-related crimes include the forgery of ID cards and stickers. Those suspected of having committed the crimes include election observers, Independent Election Commission or IEC staff members, and employees of Afghanistan's Central Civil Registration Authority.
7 قضیه تا هنوز ارسال شده که شامل تزویر تذکره ها هست، نصب استیکرهای غیرقانونی هست، تقلب هست، همچنان مورد ایست که کارمندای ثبت احوال نفوذ در بعضی از این مسائل دخیل بودند.
This comes a day after the Afghan Interior Minister said authorities have arrested 60 people in connection with crimes related to the recently held polls. Meanwhile, the IEC officials admitted that a number of its employees committed negligence on the election day, but said that they have formed a commission to address these issues. Moving on to news from Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena on Thursday lifted a suspension of parliament and called a meeting on November 5th that could end an increasingly bitter power struggle between the two rival prime ministers. The island nation plunged into crisis last week after the president sacked Ranil Wickremesinghe as prime minister and named Mahinda Rajapaksa in his place.
Sri Lankan President Maithripala Sirisena reportedly lifted the suspension of parliament and summoned a meeting of the legislature next Monday to end the current political stalemate in the country over the sudden sacking of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. President Sirisena replaced Wickremesinghe with former President Mahinda Rajapaksa in a dramatic turn of events last Friday. The president was under increasing political and diplomatic pressure to reconvene parliament and resolve the crisis. He had earlier prorogued the parliament till 16th of November following swearing in of Rajapaksa as prime minister in place of Ranil Wickremesinghe. Wickremesinghe has maintained that he is still the prime minister and has a majority in the house. Refusing to accept his dismissal, he has argued that he cannot be legally removed until he loses the support of parliament. He had been repeatedly demanding that a legislature be recalled for him to prove his majority in the 225-member assembly.
Myanmar on Wednesday tried to convince Rohingyas who fled an army crackdown last year to return from Bangladesh and accept their verified ID cards. Officials from the Buddhist majority country visited camps for the refugees in Dhaka and said the process to repatriate them would begin next month.
Myanmar officials visited camps for Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh on Wednesday in an effort to kickstart a process to repatriate hundreds who fled an army crackdown last year. More than 700,000 Rohingya refugees crossed into Bangladesh from western Myanmar after Rohingya insurgent attacks on Myanmar security forces in August 2017 triggered a sweeping military response. Officials said after meetings in Dhaka on Tuesday returns would begin next month, but the UN Refugee Agency said conditions in Myanmar's Rakhine province were not yet conducive for returns.
They asked me about some issues and then I responded to them. For instance, the NVC, freedom of movement, education, health, and then their nationality status. So I have responded to them. So in order for us to better understand each other, so this is the best opportunity to come and listen to their voices. So we will work with the Bangladesh government to repatriate the verified people from back to Myanmar.
Meanwhile, Rohingyas after Wednesday's meeting said they were unconvinced about the proposed repatriation as they want Myanmar to recognize them as an ethnic group with the right to Myanmar citizenship before they return. Many in the Buddhist majority country call the Rohingya Bengalis, suggesting they belong in Bangladesh.
In a bid to promote different art forms among the public, especially the youth, an International Art and Calligraphy Festival was recently organized in India's Jaipur city. The event provided a platform to several artists from across the world to showcase their talent and also encourage the younger generation to get their skills polished. An International Art and Calligraphy exhibition was recently organized in India's Pink City, Jaipur, to promote different traditional, tribal and contemporary art forms among the public. Famous art forms like calligraphy, painting, photography, ceramic art, among others, were part of the exhibition. Artists from nearly 26 countries with different style and nature participated in the event to demonstrate their skills.
Exhibition or festival बहुत अच्छा था, यानी बहुत शुक्रिया अपना दोस्त गोरी यूसुफ को बात किया, हम लोग सीधे एक्सेप्ट किया, फिक्र नहीं तो जाएगा नहीं आएगा तो, और हमारा आर्ट का अभी तकरीबन 30 साल हो गया, कैलीग्राफी और पेंटिंग स्कल्पचर, हमारा ज़िंदगी पूरा उसमें आर्ट का है। दिल्ली में मोर देन 12 आवर्स हमारा काम है ये।
सर मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। मैं बेसिकली अपने बेटा है मेरा 6 साल का, मैं उसको यहाँ पे एग्जीबिशन में लेके आया था। उसका काफ़ी अच्छा इंटरेस्ट है पेंटिंग के अंदर।
Besides providing a platform to different artists and art forms, the exhibition also helped the new generation to polish their skills under the guidance of experts. Workshops were also organized for kids to impart knowledge and develop the love for arts among them. Youth in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province are getting training in various sectors including healthcare, hospitality, information and technology and banking. The training program is being conducted as part of a government scheme aimed to train the youth and provide them viable job opportunities.
With an objective of empowering the youth in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province, the provincial government has been organizing various vocational training programs under Himayat scheme in its summer capital city, Srinagar. The training programs are aimed at providing skill development training to the unemployed youth in the fields of healthcare, hospitality, information technology, banking, customer services, among other sectors. The training centers across the province first train the candidates in different market-relevant skills and then provide them with job opportunities in private companies across the country.
हॉस्पिटैलिटी सेक्टर मैंने इसलिए चुना है क्योंकि ये टूरिज़्म के साथ भी इंटरकनेक्टेड है। दैट्स वाई मैंने इसको चूज़ किया हुआ है। और यहाँ पे हमको प्लस पॉइंट ये है कि टीए मिलता है हमको, यहाँ पे बुक्स प्रोवाइड की जाती है हमको वास्ट स्टडीज़ के लिए, और बैग्स दिए जाते हैं हमको, कैप्स दी जाती है, यूनिफॉर्म दिए जाती है। और मैं ये बताना चाहूँगा मतलब कि हमारे जितने भी फैसिलिटेटर्स हैं, ऑल दे आर गुड इन ऑल एस्पेक्ट्स।
Himayat is a skill development initiative of Indian government that aims to provide training and placement to 1 lakh youth of Jammu and Kashmir province in the next 5 years. The scheme mainly focuses on the youth belonging to the low-income group and school dropouts.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.